Yes.
This is Errol Spence Jr. You're watching True School Sports.
All right.
Because Pacquiao's a whole different beast. He's in a whole different level. You know, the guy's a living legend. You know, we're never going to see a Manny Pacquiao again.
Like for like a guy like Manny Pacquiao, what specifically made him such a difficult fight for you?
With Pacquiao, it's his unpredictability. He's super unpredictable. It's really difficult to gauge what he's doing. He generates a lot of power. He's very explosive, fast. He's got footwork. He doesn't get tired. You know, like he's got a lot of things, which is why he's been crushing people for the past 20 years.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, where it's my brethren all around the world watching this video. Hope you're having a great day today as you're tuning in. Make sure you do yourself a damn favor and hit that subscribe button, and surely you will not be disappointed. Now, interesting stuff in the welterweight division as I'm wearing the Man Down Errol Spence Jr. shirt. Big shout out to Errol Spence Jr. Go cop your Errol Spence Jr. merch at I think it's Man Down merch. So go, they got great stuff over there on Errol Spence Jr.'s website. But Manny Pacquiao, in light of the Errol Spence fight and scouting him, because you know he was there ringside, he had a couple observations that he took away from the fight, and I'm gonna read them to you. So here's what Manny Pacquiao said in regards to Errol the Truth Spence Jr. He said, I quote, "He doesn't really hit that hard. He is like Ledwaba. I had to talk to Al Heyman first. I want it in July so that my work with the Senate won't be affected." There you go. And then Spence said he could fight in July. So basically, Manny Pacquiao at ringside saw a guy who, in his eyes, didn't hit hard enough to be like, oh crap. You know, he really thinks that. And he said he reminded him of Ledwaba. Now, why he reminded him of Ledwaba, I'm not entirely sure. I believe Ledwaba was a orthodox fighter and Spence was a southpaw fighter, so I don't know why exactly he reminds him of Ledwaba. But if somebody interviews Manny Pacquiao, they should ask him, why does Errol Spence Jr. remind you of Ledwaba? Now, he doesn't hit that hard. I mean, the guy, for crying out loud, Errol Spence Jr., he's sporting a 84% knockout percentage. The only men who have been in the ring with him that didn't get stopped were Manny Garcia, okay, were Luis Torres in his fourth professional fight, and Ronald Cruz, and I think that's about it. And yeah, so you know, most of these guys are not getting out the ring with Errol Spence Jr., but I think I understand what Manny Pacquiao is trying to say. You know, I'm not trying to mince his words or talk for the guy because he's his own man, but you know, something that I began to notice Errol Spence Jr. just watching him fight. Like for example, when he fought Lamont Peterson, right? Lamont Peterson was able to, for a good amount of time, I mean, that fight went 7 rounds, okay? So that fight went 7 rounds, and it probably would have went a lot longer if Lamont Peterson had decided to box a little bit more off of his back foot. The only reason it went 7 was because Lamont Peterson fought in a style where he was pressing Errol Spence Jr. and trying to fight him on the inside, and it took Errol Spence Jr. 7 rounds to break him down, okay? It took him 7 rounds to break him down. Manny Garcia, Errol Spence was content to sit there and just box him. And, you know, he didn't really break him down the way he wanted to get the stoppage. But, you know, he outboxed. I'm pretty sure he was happy with the result, right? Errol Spence Jr. in his career, even if you look at the Chris Algieri fight, he's not someone who stops you with one punch. He breaks you down over time. It's just depending on who you are and how you fight him, he can break it down quicker than others. So he broke Algieri down in 4 rounds. He broke Peterson down in 7 rounds. He broke Kell Brook down in, you know, 11 rounds. So, you know, it really depends on how you decide to fight him, and it depends on how good is your defense. And as you can see, you can see based on the caliber of fighter and how they fought him, how it took Errol Spence to break each one of those 3 down. You know, Chris Algieri, a 140-pounder moving up, you know, a light punching 140-pounder who's at welterweight, you know, 4 rounds. Okay, Lamont Peterson, more of a natural 140-pounder, but has skills and is durable. Been at welterweight before, you know, 7 rounds. Okay, and then Kell Brook, welterweight champion, the only guy in the division who's as big as him and has boxing skills and can throw combinations. You know, was, you know, outboxing him for the early stages of the fight, but, you know, he broke him down later on in the fight. So there you go. that's what I've come to learn about Errol Spence the more I watch him fight. And then when you get a guy like Phil Greco, Phil Greco, how long? Phil Greco won like 1 round, 2 rounds. How long did Phil Greco go with Errol Spence? Even though he didn't have a whole lot of time to prepare, he had what? Phil Greco had, where you at? About, I think it was 1 or 2 rounds. Couldn't have been 1 or 2 rounds. Okay, it was 3 rounds. So it really all depends. It really all depends on how you fight him. But for the Manny Pacquiao side of things, I think he's a very dangerous fight for Errol Spence. And I really want to see it because I know that in his last fight with Broner, he didn't really show the most power in the world. I mean, here at Broner, he showed that his power was still there, but his power, from what I could see, has definitely began to tail off just a bit. And they say when you get older as a fighter, the last thing to go is your power. But what I'll say about Manny Pacquiao, because I've had a chance to interview a couple fighters about him, like most notably, as you guys saw early in this video, Chris Algieri. And the one thing that every fighter I've ever heard talk about Manny Pacquiao's power is that it's different. It's different. It comes from weird angles. It's compact. It's accurate. It's thudding. And Manny Pacquiao just does not get tired. His stamina, Manny Pacquiao just doesn't get tired. Like, his conditioning is up there with some of the best in the sport, even at his advanced age of 40 years old. And honestly, like, that's something that if they do fight, Errol the Truth Spence Jr. will have to deal with. But you gotta admire, like, the confidence of Manny Pacquiao to say that, like, okay, the guy hits hard. He feels like he reminds him of Ledwaba, and we all saw what he did to Ledwaba. So I want to see it happen, man. If Errol Spence is gonna get a unification fight with Sean Porter next, then obviously the Pacquiao fight will be more than good enough to satisfy myself and a lot of other boxing fans out there. And it's a fight that he needs for himself. Like, if he wants to become that crossover star in boxing, and he knows this. Errol Spence Jr. is a smart guy. He has to fight a guy like Manny Pacquiao. And I know there's going to be a lot of talk about the Terrence Crawford fight. That's like the fight in the welterweight division. It's one of the biggest and truest 50-50 fights in all of boxing. But we know how it is, man. The politics of boxing. It's going to prevent that fight from happening. I have my doubts to whether that fight will ever happen. But Manny Pacquiao talking with a lot of confidence. He's targeting Errol Spence for July. Errol Spence is targeting Manny Pacquiao for July. So that could be just a massive fight for boxing. And just objectively speaking, I think Manny Pacquiao's biggest issue in that fight won't actually be Errol Spence's power. It'll be Errol Spence's pressure. His pressure, his ability to break you down. That's going to be the biggest thing for Manny Pacquiao, especially at this stage of his career, because Errol Spence is one of the best in boxing at not just keeping his hands up, but getting you to fight at a pace you don't like to fight at. And at 40 years old, I'm not sure if Manny Pacquiao can still fight at the pace he used to fight at. I would be led to believe that he can't. But for Errol Spence, the challenge would be for Manny Pacquiao. From the Manny Pacquiao side of things, could you cut the ring off on a guy like that who can still, at this advanced age, move as well as he does and whatnot, So we'll see what happens, man. It's a fight I would love to see happen for the sport of boxing. But Manny Pacquiao's talking really, really confident right now, saying that Pacquiao he's not, first of all, he's not intimidated. You can't expect a man who's one of 8 divisions, fought the likes of, the guys he's fought, who's going to fight Paul Williams in his prime. He signed to fight him. You can't expect him to be intimidated by a guy like Errol Spence. Sorry. But he said he doesn't hit that hard, and he reminds him of Ledwaba, and we all know what happened in the Ledwaba fight. So yeah, and it's funny, man, just because like everybody who's fought Pacquiao says the same thing. His power was different. His speed is different. Even with I was reading an article from Ledwaba earlier saying, yeah, I got it right here in front of me. Actually, he was talking about his power. He said, this is what he said. This is what Ledwaba said about Pacquiao. He said, I quote, "When he hit me, he hurt me. When he hit me, it was different from anyone else. In that fight, I was just fighting to survive. I just decided I'm getting hurt. The best thing for me to do is just retire." So that's what he does. And when he beat Ledwaba was never the same. And same thing with Algieri. When he beat Algieri was never the same. He beats guys, and he didn't just beat them. He beats them, and they're never the same. He beat Matisse recently. Beat him, he retired. So there you have it, man. Manny Pacquiao wants the Errol Spence fight. I want to see the Errol Spence fight. We'll continue to cover all the quotes and things that happened in the build-up to what could be a super fight. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think Manny Pacquiao is right and that Errol Spence doesn't hit that hard, and that he's an overrated puncher. You know, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Think in the comments down below. Gosh darn it, sound it out, BT. Take the time to subscribe, like I say in every single one of these videos. You can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.